Music plays a vital role in my life, and if somebody asked me to sum music up in a few words, I can't. There is a lot of different music in the world and a lot of different things, and this is what the series is about: sound breakdown. I want to try and break down different songs, different components of songs for all of you guys who are musicians and non-musicians. If you just love music, this is the place for you. Let's get into it. Alright, so today's sound breakdown is going to be Life Less Ordinary by Carbon Leaf. So if you haven't heard of Carbon Leaf, that's okay, because neither had I until not too long ago. So I did listen to the song, and there was a lot to break down, so I thought I would just go ahead and make a video about it. And like I said earlier, sound breakdown is just about learning how to really appreciate music and breaking it down to hear all the different layers and elements of the song. I'm going to point out a lot of different stuff, and if you find it helpful, maybe give it a like and enjoy this video. So right off the bat, I'm noticing a really nice bass line and a really nice guitar melody, and they kind of just mesh just like that. They're doing something different, especially the guitar is doing a lot of different extra riffs, but the bass line is really groovy, and I like that a lot. And it's on an upright bass, which is even better. I love upright basses. I did own one a little bit ago, but I had to get rid of it for various reasons, and I hope to get one again someday. Anyway, what's going on here is this electric guitar is doing really nice open chords so far. I know I'm only 8 seconds into the song, but there's a lot already to unpack. And when I was listening to this the first time, I noticed all of this stuff. And if you guys don't notice all of this stuff when you first start listening to this song or any song, eventually you will start to hear it when you are learning, teaching your ears what to listen for. Not really what to listen for, but you're listening to all these different things coming in. You're listening to the hooks of the song. You're listening for, the bass line of the song, maybe the piano part if there's a piano part. You're listening to the drums. You're just listening to the song. And everything in the song is made up by all the instruments, all the different layers, all the parts. Enough talking, let's get back into it.
Live a life less ordinary, live a life extraordinary with me.
So, already I've mentioned the hook of the song, and the hook is definitely going to be the bass line and that accompanying melody by the guitar. And the words are coming in, and the lyrics and the melody of the lyrics, they mesh with both of those, creating a really nice groovy beat and song, especially coming from the way that the drums incorporate into the song as well. And I like it. I'm grooving.
Live a life less sedentary, live a life evolutionary with me.
I'd like that little change in the melody when he said, live a life less illusionary with me. I think that's what he said, but I was focusing on the melody, but he went da 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 instead of doing what he was before, and that just created a little variation, which if you're a songwriter or music maker yourself, variation is key. Repetition is also key, but I can talk about that later. Back to it.
Well, I hate to be a bother, but it's you and there's no other I do believe. You can call me naive, but I know.
Some more variation with that guitar part. Da 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 na na na. It all makes a great song.
Me very well, at least as far as I can tell, I know what I mean.
So something I just heard there was the electric guitar and the drums were working together to kind of create a transitioning moment where you can hear that it's telling your ears that you're going into a different part of the song, meaning a verse to either like a bridge, or right here it's a verse to a chorus. So you can hear the drums going, and the electric guitar is doing a dun 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 dun. Let's listen again.
The night she came into my life, well, it took the bones of
It
me,
adds a
took
big
the bones
touch.
of me, and blew away my storm and strife, and shook the bones of me, shook the bones of me. By the way, I do know why you stayed away. I will keep tongue-tied this time, live a life that's ordinary.
Alright, something interesting during that chorus, which I liked, was the harmony part of the vocals coming in, and that adds a robustness to the song, which you don't often hear, because at first it was just this lead singer singing with no harmony part, and then the harmony part came in and it added kind of the effect that the song is getting a little bit bigger, which is during the chorus you do want your choruses to be a little more bigger, built, whatever you want to call it. It's the main part of the song, so you want it to have a little bit more going on, which was, in this case, the harmony part. And if I'm ever, in my songs, personally, because I do record some songs, I've only added harmony parts during a chorus, and I've only added, maybe harmony parts during a bridge. Or if I am the backup singer, sometimes I do some performances. If I'm the backup singer, I'll only sing during the bridge part or the chorus part during the bigger parts of the song, because it's just necessary to add a little bit more robustness to certain parts and not other parts. And breaking down a sound breakdown, excuse me, it's important to kind of recognize, okay, this is happening now and this is happening now. Which is a little more flavorful, which is a little more tasteful. Do I like this part better? Do I like that part better? It's like, ooh, that was a really nice transition into the chorus, That's how I respond usually.
Live a life extraordinary with me.
What?
My face is
That was dope. Okay. That guy was going ham.
too much before our hands could even touch to greet a hello. So much for going slow. A little later on,
There's a harmony part again.
told you that I loved you, dear. What do you know? This you
Some
were
more variation with the guitar.
I'm a sad man, I'm a broken boy, I'm a toddler with a complex story. I'm falling apart since the ambush on your heart. The night she came into my life, well, it took the bones of me, took the bones of me, and blew away my storm and strife. Shook the bones of me, shook the bones of me. By the way, I do know why you stayed away. I will keep tongue-tied, but I understand.
Wow, this is almost like a second chorus going on. I don't know if you can call it like a bridge, but let's go back a little bit. The way that the guitar, the bass, and the drums, they all go ba-ba-bum, with the vocals da-da-da-da, da-da-da. Come on, how can you beat that? Like, when I first heard this, I was like, whoa, where did that come from? And so far, it's kept me listening, because sometimes I get really bored, and I know other people get really bored, especially with some of my own personal songs I've made. Like, oh, how many times is he going to sing this? But when you would kind of expect him to go into that chorus again, they changed it up and they went da-da-da-da, da-da-da, with different words and kind of a different melody as well. Let's hear it again.
I understand, I won't make it bad. I understand, we could walk without a plan. I understand, I won't rest in stone, all alone. I understand.
I don't know if you heard, but I heard the acoustic guitar is just going crazy on his acoustic guitar there, and that was like something that you typically don't hear, is the acoustic guitar like going away from the typical part that he plays, which is just chords and etc. strumming patterns. Like he was going adding a solo, and that adds so much to a song, making the song much more interesting, much more beautiful and groovy. It didn't take away from the song, and it also wasn't like overpowering the song, which is something you gotta watch out for, especially in recording your own music, that you don't overpower certain parts. You just add a little to the song. Same with like going from a big part down to a slower part. Maybe a solo part like what's going on now. Dynamics. That's what's going on here. And articulation as well. I really get bored with a song that has no dynamics. Like, a song can be full of energy, but if it's very consistent and constant through a song, it's unbearable because the song kind of has no direction. The song has direction. Like, you can feel it kind of going, and we'll see where it goes next, whether it goes back up again or down or stays the same. And it keeps people listening, which I really like.
Ordinary, live a life extraordinary with me. If I could name you in the song, to make you smile and sing along.
Going back up a little bit.
To get into your soul.
So now we're back to full energy, if you will, but instead of just going right blast into it, there was kind of a pause in the drums and the vocals. He sang that part, and then all of a sudden the drums kind of did a fill into the song, and that was such a nice touch, which you can add to your own personal songs.
Make you dance for joy, that'd be the second chance to go in the bird in hand. I would need to help you understand. The nights came into my life, well, they took the bones of me, and blew away my storm and strife. Shook the bones of me, By the way, I do not want you stay away. I will keep tongue-tied this time.
Overall, I'm really glad somebody sent this song to me, because I had never heard of Carbon Leaf before, but this song is the bomb. The song is the bomb. I didn't mean to rhyme there. In this sound breakdown, we learned that there are things to pay attention for are dynamics, some repetition, not too much repetition, of course. I can probably talk about that at a different time, but dynamics, repetition, hooks. We talked about how important hooks are. Layers, very important layers. And overall, that's kind of what I look for when I'm breaking down a song. My rating for this sound breakdown, I'm going to give this song a 10 out of 10. Like, there's nothing to hate in this song. And I kind of look forward to the day when I find a song that is awful. If you have a song that maybe is awful and you can barely listen to it, suggest it to me in the comments. I would love tons of suggestions. I'll listen to songs for the first time in these sound breakdowns, and I look forward to doing more of these. See you later. Back to the music.
Live a life extraordinary with me. Live a life less sedentary. Live a life of evolution.